Have you ever wondered why some people work hard all their lives only to retire broke, while others seem to build wealth effortlessly? Is it luck, inheritance, or something deeper? A mindset, a way of thinking about money that changes everything. Welcome to Book Pod Diaries. Today, we journey through a book that has become a cornerstone in financial education for millions of readers worldwide. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This isn't just a book about money. It's about breaking free from the cycle of paycheck-to-paycheck living and rethinking everything we've been taught about work, wealth, and success. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. One was his biological father, whom he calls his poor dad, a highly educated man who believed in hard work, job security, and climbing the traditional career ladder. The other was the father of his best friend, his rich dad, who was a high school dropout but an astute businessman who taught Robert how money actually works. Through these two contrasting perspectives, Robert began to question everything he'd been taught about financial success. As a young boy, Robert asked his poor dad how to get rich. The answer was simple: study hard, get good grades, and find a secure job. But when he posed the same question to his rich dad, he got a very different answer. Rich Dad didn't talk about jobs. He talked about owning systems, building assets, and making money work for you. One of the earliest lessons Robert learned was that the rich don't work for money, money works for them. While Poor Dad encouraged him to find a job and climb the ladder, Rich Dad challenged him to own the ladder. He taught Robert that most people are stuck in the rat race because they don't understand the difference between assets and liabilities. They think owning a big house or a new car makes them rich, when in fact, these are expenses that take money out of their pockets. Rich Dad drilled this concept in. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out. It's a deceptively simple definition, but it's the foundation of financial intelligence. And it's where most people go wrong. They buy liabilities, thinking they're assets, and wonder why they never get ahead. Rich Dad's advice was to focus on acquiring real assets, investments, real estate, businesses, intellectual property, things that generate income over time. In school, Robert excelled at reading, writing, and arithmetic. But Rich Dad introduced him to a fourth R, financial literacy. He taught Robert to read numbers, to understand how money flows in and out, and to see the stories that financial statements tell. He showed him how to read balance sheets and income statements like novels, full of characters, conflict, and resolution. Another powerful lesson was about taxes. Poor Dad, a government employee, saw taxes as a duty, a responsibility. Rich Dad, a savvy investor, saw them as a game to be understood and played wisely. He explained how the wealthy use corporations to protect their income and minimize taxes legally. Robert realized that knowing the rules of money is just like knowing the rules of a game. Those who know them best win. The book also dives into the psychology of fear and desire. Poor Dad was driven by fear of not having enough, fear of failure. This fear led to a life of caution, of working harder for money without ever questioning the system. Rich Dad acknowledged fear but didn't let it control him. He also warned against being driven by desire, the desire to look rich rather than be rich. So many people fall into the trap of working jobs they hate to buy things they don't need to impress people they don't even like. It's a cycle of emotional spending that never leads to true freedom. Rich Dad emphasized the importance of learning by doing. He encouraged Robert to take risks, to try new ventures, to fail and learn from it. Real-world experience, he believed, was far more valuable than classroom theory. Robert took this to heart, starting small businesses, investing in real estate, and gradually building a portfolio that would support him financially. Perhaps one of the most pivotal moments in the book is when Robert talks about the importance of sales and marketing skills. Regardless of your profession, your ability to communicate, to persuade, and to sell is vital. Rich Dad encouraged him to work to learn, not just to earn. Every job, every opportunity should be seen as a chance to acquire new skills that contribute to your financial intelligence. As Robert matured, he came to see that true wealth isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about having the time to do what you love, to be with the people who matter, and to live life on your own terms. Rich Dad didn't measure success by a bank balance, but by how much control you have over your life. In the later chapters, Robert explores the importance of taking action. So many people read books, attend seminars, and dream big dreams, but never do anything. Fear holds them back. Rich Dad taught that knowledge without action is meaningless. He urged Robert to start small but start now, to invest in himself, to build habits that compound over time, and above all, to never stop learning. By the end of the book, it's clear that the most valuable lesson Robert learned from his rich dad was this: you don't need to be born into wealth to build it. You don't need to have all the answers before you begin. What you need is a shift in mindset, a willingness to think differently, and the courage to take control of your financial future. Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a wake-up call, a challenge to unlearn the old lessons that no longer serve us and to embrace a new way of thinking about work, wealth, and life. So as we close this journey, ask yourself, which dad are you listening to? If this episode resonated with you, we invite you to be part of our growing community here at Book Pod Diaries. Like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into life-changing books. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, financial freedom begins in the mind.